originally, this area right here was actually a bedroom. It was the third bedroom. There was no entrance here. This was wall. This was an exterior. This is wall with windows on both sides. Yeah. And then right next to it was kind of like a big office space.
This laundry room that you see here was actually where the kitchen was. So adjacent from this kitchen that was open to the rest of the house was this almost like second living room / office, and there was a wall about here. There was a wall about here and a big slider, like one of those old, almost soji, but not. It's like the one at Nana's house. Yeah, they're like old school Ossipoff sliders. So then it was here, but it was broken. And it led out into this basically covered patio area. There was 2 windows. These are the original windows. They were always there. There also used to be an entrance into the house from here. So we just closed it up and made it a room, an actual room, and used it better. But we had to rip the whole roof off and rebuild the structure of the roof.
We ripped off not just the roof, everything to the CMU wall. So this whole side is brand new. All the framing, the walls, and the roof is all brand new.
We made it real when we first bought this house about the condition of this whole area and how it was built very not structurally sound, corrugated roofing, exposed, electrical. It was kind of scary, so we had to rebuild the whole thing.
There was like 5 different types of flooring. There was some dirt.
Over here.
There was some dirt. It was wild. Well, this space turned into 2 rooms. So it was originally just this big open covered living space.
Really weird DIY wall that was actually doors as walls.
Yeah, no, there was a wall there.
It was doors as walls.
Yeah, doors as walls.
So then we created this whole room, divided it up. This is still a part of that whole new side, and right where we're standing was, I think, where I said in one of our videos, don't touch that, because if you do, the whole thing's gonna fall down, because he was messing with one of the posts. No bueno. So this one's really cool. We had to get fun with how we were gonna fit a closet in, so we tucked it into this corner, and it's actually a huge closet. So we have a decent sized closet now, and then behind this closet wall, we created a bathroom that was never there before. So we created a whole new third bathroom for the house. I see it as like a whole nother, feels like a mother-in-law suite.
It does too, because it also has its own little courtyard out here, like we'll show you afterwards, but a big slider that goes out to it. And then even you could consider that yard space out there like theirs, right? So it could literally be a mother-in-law suite, or a family member guest room, and they have their own little zone over here.
We tied in the tile in the front entryway to here, so it's very cohesive. There was this built out old rock round kind of planter that had some weird, and I was like, no, we have to get rid of it. And then they fought me on it for about a month on keeping it. And I was like, no, when you walk out, you're hitting a round DIY planter.
You would have had to be the largest person in the world to actually hit that and be not paying attention. But I do have to admit that it looks way cleaner with the rock wall.
This is the fun part about this house that was the most difficult, is if you look behind you, see this run of rock all the way up the house. We had to trench from the very top of where those trash cans are all the way down through here and under the house to bring the new electrical line into the house. That wasn't fun.
whole electrical situation is a nightmare, but that's for another video.
But it got done, and it's really cool. The whole design inspo for this entire house was off of one inspo house, multiple photos of the same house. And I'd never done like pebble rock, large like river looking rocks that are round and soft, and then this gravel essentially ever before. But I feel like it was more cost effective than to run sod the entire way, and it's low maintenance and it looks good.
As real estate investors, our job is to find the things that are cost effective but look the best. So like I feel like this landscaping actually adds like a hint of higher design, even though it didn't cost as much. We tied in all of this wood siding that you see in the very front of the house as an accent. It runs the whole length. Yeah, runs the whole length of the house.
So it runs in the front, and then it runs in the exterior and the side below, and then this is the same wood and feature wall. So it all kind of ties together. But this is not cheap wood. This is not cost effective. This is high design. And that was really cool about this property is it came with a lot of fruit trees. So you have banana, mountain apple, ulu. There's a star fruit tree in the front of the house. This is avocado, and then there is a mango tree, but I don't think it sprouts much. And so I was like, these aren't going anywhere. We need to keep all the fruit trees, and we actually just accentuate them.
We also put a 6-foot vinyl fence wrapping the perimeter of the house. We pretty much do that on all our houses because it gives so much privacy. Before, you could see into this neighbor below, the neighbor on the backside. You could 100%, you could almost walk right into their property. It really gives this space a sense of privacy.
You can be in your yard over here and just actually play. And now I would feel 100% comfortable with letting my kids just come run. Because people come, I don't even hear, that's the car. They're coming up a hill, and we're on a turn on this corner lot. So like now it's a very secure, large, big yard. So before the deck and before everything, there was like maybe a planter from where you're standing right about there to right here. This like huge planter, like makeshift. Yeah, so like you really couldn't get a sense of how big your yard actually was and then what you could do with it. Because now that that's gone, you realize, wow, you have this massive yard, you can play, there's tons of space. It's great.
One of the huge things, definitely changes that we did, was when we bought this house, there was absolutely no deck.
Well, there actually was a little tiny one.
It was a tiny, tiny deck, but it doesn't count as a deck.
No, and it was made very unsafe.
One of the things that's so cool about living up here in the Kahala Hills, you're on a ridge and you have unreal views. So when we walked into this house and we walked out to look at the view, we looked at each other and we're like, we have to put a massive deck out here.
Let's go up there. Let's go take a looky look. I grew up coming to up this hill because my Nana lives right there. That's where my dad grew up, right there. And the whole reason we even had the opportunity to purchase this beautiful home and bring it back to life was because of her and her connection to the previous owner. They were friends. They grew up together. His name was Butch. And I remember when your dad was listing the house, I remember my Nana calling me one day because I knew that the owner had died and they were trying to figure out what to do with the house. And I remember my Nana calling me and giving me the address and phone number and name of the brother who inherited the home. And she was like, I'm going to put in a good word for you, honey. And It's just because of her we got this house. So it was really important to me that we did this house correctly and that she would be proud and the neighborhood would be proud. And now when your dad was also blessing the house, I was like, Nana, I know you're up there. Like, now bring me the buyer that you would want as your neighbor, that you would be proud to call this, you know, a neighbor living in this place, because it's a special place and this was for her.
Like, we put 100% of ourselves into like all the houses that we do, but this one there was some more. There was something special about this house. I know it exactly was because of Nana, but even more so, we're gonna have to see this house every single day.
My family's home, my Nana's home, is not going anywhere. It's staying in the family for generations to come. So going into it, I felt like I put a lot of responsibility on myself, and I know you matched that with making sure we did it justice, not only because of where the opportunity came from, but because of the original architecture of the home and being such a cool Ossipoff home and this mid-century vibe that we just love so much. But obviously we put our modern flair on it, but it was like an obligation to make sure we did it right, because we will be seeing this house, unlike all of our other ones to date, for the rest of our lives. We're gonna be driving up this hill, parking in that driveway and seeing it. So there can't be anything that I was like, ooh, I wish we didn't do that, or ooh, we should have done that. And I can say that I don't feel that way. I think we did this house right.
I think too what's helped is this is the specific neighborhood.
Yes.
It calls for all of these things that we did. So I mean, you have to renovate to your comps, to your neighborhood, and this neighborhood allowed us to get a little more fun with some of the finishes and design. I mean, we wouldn't do stucco on any house in any neighborhood. It made sense here, right? So I think that's also what made this house so much fun, and being able to, for you, splurge a little.
Yes. Love me a good splurge. But honestly, it's houses like this that make me love what we do, honestly, because you can take something old that's still really cool, breathe new life into it, where you put your flair in it and you have fun with it. And I think when you love what you're doing, it kind of shows, and you take like calculated risks. And now I'm like, okay, well, now I have to keep pushing myself to do.
Well, I think every house that we're doing, we're pushing ourselves to the next level. I think that's what's so fun about it. You're right. We're obsessed with real estate. We love doing this. We would do this even if we didn't have to. I think we'd pick and choose and figure out the houses that we wanted to work on. But yeah, this house was definitely special. It allowed you, I feel like it allowed you to get even more unique with some of the design choices, which I love, because then, I don't know, it allowed you to like put yourself into this house even more.
I just wish Nana was here to see it.
I know, that's what I was thinking. What do you think Nana would say about this house? I don't want to make you cry, but at the same time, I'll tell you. I mean, I've known Nana for years, right? And I know without a shadow of a doubt that she would be super proud. Like, yeah, it would be unreal.
I did ask my dad when we were putting on the address numbers, and I said, Dad, do you think Nana would like it? He's like, honey, she'd be so happy.
Yeah, and she would. I know for a fact she would. I know. Well, you can, I don't know, I feel like this is a good, no, right.
We have to sell it.
No, but it's a good reminder. It's a good tribute almost too.
No, and that's
right?
what this means to me.
Yeah.
It's like a tribute to her. It's
Right.
a tribute to, because it was her family that started us and my dad on that path of real estate and implanted it in me, because I saw it growing up. So this house is almost like a tribute, and what better way to have it be the house that
is right next door, you know.
So someone come by this fucking house.
Oh my god. Really?